Big yawn, Odie. Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 65, and it's gonna be a long turn. Forewarning, it's gonna be a long turn. Calum has come. Whoa. Okay, moving on. Let's do this. Okay. Arcane probing, nothing. Augury, nothing. Fuck, of course Augury finds nothing. I am destined to live without fire gems. Corpseman construction. Arspex found nothing. Auspex or Aspu found nothing. And let's take a look at all of these before we spoil all of them. So, huge Ashen Angel is appearing out of nowhere, so we're getting a bunch of remote assassination spells. Ashen Angels are quintessential, cool, awesome. These boyos have 35 hit points, decent stats, 19 defense skill. They have 0 protection, but they come with invulnerability 25, so unless you have magic weapons, you ain't doing shit. Fear 5, some good cold resistance, some good poison resistance. Ethereal, flying, spirit sight. They are equipped with nothing but a Bane Blade, which is a 200 weapon that hits pretty hard, and inflicts you with decay. And decay is the you will rapidly age until you die, or until you resist the decay. So, this is an Ashen Angel up against just a Jade Sorceress. Nothing else. Oof. This ain't gonna go well for the Jade Sorcerer. She didn't even start casting spells. She just walks forward. I don't know. AI could have, cast like Bark Skin or something. You could have tried, AI, but no. That's a Jade Sorceress. We get another Ashen Angel. This one is on Helheim. And this one actually runs up against a Vanjarl. And this one actually kind of pisses. So, we get the Ashen Angel prepares to fly. Our Vanjarl casts Bless. This Vanjarl isn't kitted out with anything. He gets his Bless off, and we get into an interesting situation. So, the Ashen Angel lands, and we can see on his first strike, he damages the shield of the Vanjarl. So the Vanjarl gets hit by the first strike, but the combination of the shield and protection, etc., he is able to block the blow from the Ashen Angel. Cool. Now we have, because of our bless, we have magic weapons. So the broadsword is magic, the hoof is magic. Granted, the Ashen Angel has 18 defense skill, so that is somewhat challenging to get through for our 15 attack or 14 attack, but we can do it. Sorry. So the Ashen Angel actually, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but we take a swing, we miss, and then the Ashen Angel, for whatever reason, flies again, which is a little odd. Since it is flying, we are no longer engaged, so our Vanjarl begins to cast, and he casts Lightning Bolt. And as he casts it, he actually wallops the Ashen Angel, which is fucking dope. Chunks this thing, hurts the shit out of it, and stuns it, which is really good because stunning it means that its defense tanks. So all we have to do is turn around and smack it, and we'll probably kill it. Where you going, Vanjarl? Vanjarl! So the Ashen Angel lands. We cast Lightning Bolt. We hit it. We fuck it up. We deal about half its life, and we stun it. And then the Vanjarl that has taken no damage routes to a fear check. The blessed Vanjarl, who has base 14 morale, is in friendly dominion and is blessed, so should have morale 16. Routes to a 5 fear check with the guy half dead and stunned next to him. All I had to do is turn around and attack. Routes dies. That sucks. That sucks. Alright, next up we've got some Earth Elementals. So another attack on Helheim. This is, again, targeting another Vanjarl. So Earth Element comes out. We bless. We Lightning Bolt. Kind of unfortunate that we don't do something like the AI is not... AI is kind of an asshole. So the AI is not smart enough to put up something like Mist Form, which would be a great boon against an Earth Elemental who is going to trample you repeatedly. But is what it is. Instead, he opts to Lightning Bolt, and he actually tags him with a couple of Lightning Bolts. The only thing is Earth Elementals have regeneration, so get into battle, tags him with another Lightning Bolt, and then the push begins. So, we actually hit very early on for a chunky amount of damage and actually take him down to his size 5 form. Only 15 more sizes left to go. We get another chunky attack, and we're almost done with size 4. If we can get him down to size 3, we stand a decent chance. Because once he is at size 3, he is only going to have a single fist attack, and it is going to be very low attack value. It'll be very unlikely that he will be able to get through our defense. Now, fortunately, this entire time, every time he tries to trample us, it rolls a check against our glamour to see if does he try to trample us or does he try to trample one of our mirror images. And so far, we've lucked out. And that is right when we stop lucking out. So we fail a check. He gets us instead of the mirror image. And boom. As soon as he no longer has to roll against the mirror images, he's over here rolling. We can see he's over here rolling 8 points for a trample. Mirror image negate. 17 points for a trample. Mirror image negate. 1 point of damage, mirror image negate. 1 point of damage, mirror image negate. This is why it would have been really, really, really good if our AI had been smart enough to put up Mist Form, right? Because if the AI was smart enough to put up Mist Form, then these ones that did get through would still have probably only done 1 damage. Now, granted, it would have been really dicey from there on out because the mirror image was already popped, right? Or would have been popped by this, but the Mist Form helping reduce the damage would have potentially allowed our Vanjarl to cut the Earth Elemental down. And again, we were already at the tail end of size 5. We just had to get through size 4, get to size 3, and then he can't trample us anymore. And then at that point, it's unlikely that he's going to hit us. But didn't make it there. It happens. We get another Earth Elemental. And then we'll go back and check all the rest of the stuff. So this Earth Elemental is up against... just a Van here. So the Van here has a significantly lower chance of succeeding compared to the Vanjarl. Basically, if the Vanjarl puts up Mist Form, they have a good chance of winning. If they don't, they still have a chance of winning. It's just more of a crapshoot. But the Van here does not have access to that. All they have access to is Air 1, which basically just means Phantasmal Warriors. And the Phantasmal Warriors can't really do anything. The Earth. That one lives for quite a while. That's pretty funny. And pop. Easy peasy. Okay, so those were the remote assassinations. 0 for 4, or 4 for 4 against us. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Back to site searches. Dark Knowledge, didn't find anything. Arcane Probing, we find an impossible angle, which sounds like a super cool site. It's just an Astral Pearl per turn, though. More Corpse Man Construction. Arcane Probing found nothing. Gnome Lore found nothing. We revived another king. Dark Knowledge found nothing. Harvest found nothing. More Corpse Man Construction. More Arcane Probing found nothing. And then we have a Magic Phase battle in Tiny Vilo. The Tiny Vilo. Okay, so it looks like he double casts the call. I think it's Call of the Hunt, maybe. Whatever it is, you get a group of wolves led by werewolves, and he double cast it in this province. This province is up against Bone Tribe and a Vanheir, but there's a lot of wolves, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. So half speed. So the wolves obviously are not super strong, but there are a lot of them. We do route the first group of wolves before the werewolves get involved. It looks like we're probably going to route the second group of wolves. And actually, so the werewolves, funnily enough, these werewolves have high invulnerability, 15 invulnerability, and they have regeneration, which is normally enough to crush most PD. But Bone Tribe have Spadums, and they hit really hard, and they berserk, so they hit even harder. So these werewolves get into these Bone Tribe and just get butchered. And this Vanheir is able to throw out enough Phantasmal Warriors to keep himself protected from the wolves. So we actually win here. That's kind of surprising. So that's pretty cool. We have a very good round of blood hunting, and then we have 50 billion attacks. So we're gonna go through these relatively quick. On the cool ones, we'll check them out more extensively, but most of these are gonna be just raids, that big deal. This is one of the ones that is not just a raid. This is a fucking army. And it's got a bunch of Lizard Warriors, it's got a bunch of Ice Clad, it's got some Tempest Warriors in here, it's got a whole bunch of Sprites, oddly enough, right? It's got a bunch of Earth Gnomes, some Earth Elementals, and Magma Children. We've got Great Eagles, Ghosts, Winter Wolves. It honestly looks like this is one of those armies that is pulled together. Part of it is, I think, a mercenary army, right? Part of it is this is one of the kings of elemental earth, Barathas, and I think he makes either the earth elementals or these earth gnomes. I think he makes these earth gnomes. And then this is just like this tangled jumble of various different things that you can summon or recruit, all thrown together. We've got a Ruax, one of the kings of elemental fire. We've got Anthrax, the king of Banefires. So this is the blood version. I don't remember. I feel like no, because Podosian's the corrupted. I feel like this is supposed to be like the corrupted fire one, but I don't really remember how you get him. Maybe he's just a regular one. Who knows? Anyways, so these guys are kitted out. Let's take a look at what they've got. This guy has a Magma Scepter, which is one of the Lucid mod items. It gives you 3 temporary fire gems, +1 magic command, and a retinue of 1 Magma Child. Very, very useful item for the 3 fire gems every fucking battle. Very cool. Anthrax is kitted out with a Holy Scourge to try to deal with demons. Fuck yeah. Good item. Dragon Helmet, Copper Plate, Amulet of Anti-Magic, and Bottle of Living Water. Very cool. So he can deal with demons. He can help. He can resist things. He can keep himself from being assassinated. Like, he's got a lot going on. Very good. And then we have Barathras has the Kithrionic Line Pelt. So just good base protection. Ring of Frost and the Storm Spool. So he has really good resistances for those two. But he's here for another reason. We'll talk about that reason here in a second. So, actually, I kind of anticipated the attacks from Calum, right? I had been kind of like, figuring that Calum was going to attack us for a while now, and I'd been consistently moving demons into different locations to try to get, maybe catch stuff. And we did move Burial, the Archdevil, here into Osins this turn. So he is here along with the province defense, and he is kitted out to do the whole fatigue replenishment Phoenix Pyre thing. We're gonna see how well that works. Okay. So what's going on? We've got a Power of the Spheres from the Codal. We know what we're doing, so we're not really going to worry about that too terribly much. We've got Sermon of Courage, Power of the Spheres, Summon Earth Power, a bunch of other stuff. What's this guy got? Look at these sprites. They have fucking bonkers range. Phantasmal Warrior, Pillar of Fire. Mass Regeneration comes out from the Codal. Cool. Okay, so he used Power of the Spheres to get his nature magic up into a good enough location to be able to afford the numerous nature gems for mass regeneration. Cool. Army of Gold also goes out. So this is kind of like the big combo, right? Is we've got Army of Gold, mass regeneration. Sweet. That is going to be hard to beat. And after this battle, we're probably going to pop out and take a look at some of the research stuff there so that we can talk about, like, what we know. So back here, like, all the PD is getting zapped. But back here, Burial is surrounded by all of these ice clads and these great eagles, right? Burial, because of his particular setup, he does not have crazy high protection or defense skill or regeneration or anything like that. He's actually going to get cleaved through pretty quickly. But if everything goes according to plan, he will just die, reapparate, die, reapparate, die, reapparate. And each time that happens, unfortunately, he does have Army of Gold, so the explosions aren't going to do that much damage. But in theory, fucking these great eagles are like real bad for the camera, my man. Real bad great eagle camera. Okay. So our Scutata Volturnus is doing the majority of the work. That in combination with our Fire Shield to hurt individuals, and boom! We die, we get a mass explosion, but we can see again, because of the fucking Army of Gold, it does not do very much. Army of Gold means that we do not get much in the way of explosion damage. But we apparate right over here, right next to these Earth Gnomes, and we can already see issue. We apparate and immediately rout. I don't know if this is typical of... I've not used Phoenix Pyre a whole bunch, honestly. So I don't know if this is just typical of using Phoenix Pyre and you're supposed to, like, berserk yourself or something. But unfortunately, that means that we don't really get to see a very good test. This fatigue, by the way, we hit this fatigue point and immediately we're just gonna run. So we don't get to see at all whether or not we would live long enough to fatigue down again and then explode. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. So that is kind of unfortunate. That being, ooh, we also see that this guy is enslaving mind. So let's pop for a second. We're going to take a look at some of the things that we know. So we know he has Well of Misery and Stellar Focus. Well of Misery means that he has Conjuration 8. Okay. We know that he has Army of Gold. That means Alt 9. We know he has Mass Regeneration. that means enchantment 8. Enslaved Mind's not that high up, but Enslaved Mind is at the very least Thaumaturgy 6, right? He's fucking stacked. He's stacked. So that's Conjuration 8, Alt 9, Enchantment 8. And this is what kind of like what we knew was happening, right? This entire time, basically, as soon as we ended the war with Calum, because Femoria dropped out and Tirnanog dropped out, I made the statement basically along the lines of like, okay, well, we're gonna try to do what we can, but at this point, Calum has 3 territories and is at peace. They're going to be able to build up their infrastructure and just go to town. And that's exactly what's happened. So not unexpected, not unanticipated. And I pretty much called this earlier on in the game that this is basically it. This is the end. It is very likely that Calum will win the game now, unless everyone else in the game turns on them. They're fighting me already, right? They've committed a lot against me. If Femoria turns on them, if Abyssia turns on them, if I pull out of Tirnanog's lands and Tirnanog turns on them, then maybe something happens. But even at that point, more than likely, I would assume that this is Calum's game. This is definitely, I will say it this way, this is Calum's game to lose now. And more than likely, it has been Calum's game to lose for the last 20 or 30 turns. So, let's go back to the stuff. Alright, so that was Osins. Very interesting. We only killed 3 Ice Clads. We did, our Archdevil did survive, but this is a big army. This is a dangerous army. This army has a lot going for it. We were attacked in Robberhome. Let's see how this goes. This is just a single Harab Seraph. Casting some Mistform, Air Shield, and summon Air Elemental. Very cool. So all we have here is a Van here. He is just summoning all the Phantasmal Warriors. There's very little chance that the Phantasmal Warriors are able to deal with the Air Elemental. There is the off chance that like a single Phantasmal Warrior gets through and tries to deal with the Harab Seraph, but that is unlikely. Oh, he got zapped. Oh wow, he actually did. Funnily enough, that Phantasmal Warrior did pop the... Oh, no, you know what probably happened, actually? Because the Harab Seraph doesn't have any lightning resist. So he probably popped his own Mistform by shooting the Phantasmal Warrior with the Orb Lightning, and then it bounced to him. So that's pretty funny. And the Air Elemental takes out the Van here in the back. Did the Air Elemental even take damage? It did not. It never dropped size 6. Was good to go the entire time. We lose in Rubberhome. We get attacked in Titan's Breath Peaks. Alright. Titan's Breath is the site of one of our blood hunting ring. Is that Titan's Breath? I think so. No. Why do we have a whole lot here in Titan's Breath? Why do we have a whole lot here in Titan's Breath? I don't know why we have a whole lot of here in Titan's Breath. But we get attacked by a fair amount of Spirehorn Militia. Led by... What do we got? An Area Seraphine. Looks like that's about it. We get a Blessing from us. We get a Sermon of Courage from them. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we actually, like, looks like we slaughter that group. Because that group did not have much in the way of backup. So this was... Yeah, this was just an attack. Where is this? And why do we have so much... Oh! Titan's Breath. Right. Oof, my brain. This is where we were bringing in a Mound King with a group of undead to help in Yellow Caves, right? So he just sent a group of Spirehorn in here, and there was just too many for them to face off against. Easy peasy. All right, so we get attacked in Ard. This is a Lich, and this Lich is actually kitted out pretty interestingly. This Lich is kitted out pretty interestingly. He's got a Kithrionic Lion Pelt, which gives him decent protection. He's got Boots of the Messenger, which gives him some reinvigoration. He's got a Storm Spool, so it's hard for us to just like lightning spam him. And he's got an Amulet of Anti-Magic, which keeps him safe against a lot of magical attacks. So that's cool. So what does he do? He does the classic Lich thing. He does Soul Vortex, he does Invulnerability, and he does Horde of Skeletons. Unfortunately, he's just up against PD. And as good as our PD is, it's not good enough to deal with a Lich. So this guy is going to Shrek us, because he's just going to Horde of Skeletons spam, and then Raise Dead spam. And if anything gets close to him, right, the Soul Vortex is going to help drain their life. The Kithrionic Lion Pelt is going to help protect him long enough. And then the Boots of Reinvigoration are going to also help him be able to continuously summon hordes of skeletons. This is a great kit for a Lich. Very, very good. Very low cost protection with the Kithrionic Lion Pelt. And very good low cost items to help kit him out. I love this kit on a Lich. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It's what I would use if we had gotten to Liches. So, Lich takes Ard. We are attacked in Zox. And this one was not really anticipated, but we had moved Gop here last turn as well, because we were trying to move Gop into a place that had a lab so that we could change his Ring of Water breathing. So we've got a Arya Seraphine, a small group of Maria warriors. Gop is going to Liquid Body, and fortunately he gets the Liquid Body off just in time to get charged by these Maria warriors, and then he goes to town. The Liquid Body is going to be enough to keep him protected while he deals with these Maria warriors. Along with the fact that he has a Ring of Regeneration, obviously, right? And a Hell Sword that gives him life drain. So he just goes to cutting. And now everyone's like fatigued out around him. So he just gets to cut everything down. Easy peasy. Fucking Ice Devils, man. Fucking Ice Devils. So we win in Zox. Cool. And we are attacked in Helheim. God, this is going to be such a long turn. Okay, we're attacked in Helheim. We've got a bunch of Area Seraphs here. They're going to do what we expect them to. They're going to Mistform up, Air Shield up, and then they're going to summon Air Elementals. So many... We do have a fair number of units here with the Province Defense in Helheim, but so many Air Elementals is not something that this PD can deal with. So eventually they are overrun. We kill two. We get attacked in Ancient Woods. We get attacked in Ancient Woods by a Wraithlord, which is the opposite of the Lich. It's the more martial version of the Lich. But he does the same thing, Soul Vortex and Vulnerability, and begins to cast. I actually don't recommend this because it fatigues the unit out. I definitely just recommend Soul Vortex. And these guys already have high protection, so I don't even see the point in putting up invulnerability. You've got high protection, you've got ethereal. Just put up Soul Vortex and go kick some ass, right? Easy peasy. And you can see with the Soul Vortex up, you see his health just tick up, right? It's great. Now, Boots of Quickness on him, pretty damn good. Storm Spool, pretty damn good. Amulet of Anti-Magic, pretty damn good. Absolutely. Just probably don't cast as many things. Just put up Soul Vortex and go fuck people up. So, all you gotta do. We lose in Ancient Woods. We are attacked in Benace. This is just an Area Seraph doing the Mist Form, Air Shield, and Air Elemental. So, watch that, Benace. Ooh, holy shit, we win! Wait, let's watch that. I didn't realize we won. I assumed we lost. What happened? I bet you it's this lone phantasmal warrior that makes it through. Smacks, does the 1 damage, pops the mist form. Yeah? 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 Oh, it gets him! You hate to see it. Fucking, you hate to see it. That's funny. Alright, we win. Nice, good job. Good job, you deserve a promotion. We are attacked in Eknafale versus basically nothing. They go up, they go down, they kill a man, and we lose. Eknafale, done. We are attacked in Lithia. This is a mercenary. This is fucking the Windmaster, Tempestus, that we got rid of so many turns ago. And Calum has used against us over and over and over again since then. So we lose in Lithia due to the Windmaster. We are attacked in Kohnberg. An Area Seraph and a Harib Seraph. Same scenario. The Air Shield Mist Form Air Elemental comes out. This time, no Phantasmal Warriors get through, and we rout, so we lose in Kohnberg. We are attacked in Blue Moss Forest. And instantly killed. We are attacked in Pulmonia. Okay, so we know this is a blood hunting site, but here's the thing. He's been in my lands, and we know he's been in my lands. He also knows this is a blood hunting site. So he has been, he deals with these appropriately. He brings in enough forces here. He's got a Harib Seraph, that's not important. He's got, this is important. He's got a Spenta of Sky and Metals. This guy is pretty cool, but most specifically, he's got Earth Boots, which give him Earth 4, and he's got a Chassis of the Mountain, which gives him 2 temporary Earth Gems, and he's got plenty of other Earth Gems as well. So, everyone's going to sit and hold, and he's going to do summon Earth Power. Army of Lead. Boom. And this is also interesting. We've got a Harib Seraph over here who does Wailing Winds. Cool. So, Wailing Winds comes up. It's not really going to matter for the morale of the undead, but it is potentially going to matter for the morale of the Vanjarls. So, but here's the problem, right? Is these Tempest Warriors are super high protection now. These Arya Infantry are super high protection now. Even these Long Dead are super high protection now. Our forces are going to be all but ineffectual against them because they are going to have such high protection. He lands forces behind. We get some forces up. We do have, now keep in mind, all of these units are equipped with the Stars of Thraldom, but the Stars of Thraldom are more against singular thugs. They're not good for big groups, right? That would be more along the lines of Frostbrands, although even Frostbrands are not very good because Calum has cold resistance. So, would be great if I had some fire gems and then I could make some firebrands, but anyways, This is not going to go good for us because he's got a heavy investment here. Army of Lead is basically going to prevent us from killing very much at all. And that's that. Easy peasy. So we lose most everything in Pulmonia. We lose 4 out of 5 Vanjarls and everything else. We kill 3 Tempest Warriors. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Towers of Heaven. We get attacked here. Just a PD versus an Air Elemental. No sneak and pass this time. The Air Elemental does its job. Very nice. It actually starts counter Phantasmal War. That's pretty funny. Okay, so we lose in Towers of Heaven. We get attacked in Sanafe. All right, and this is a very similar scenario, right? He's aware. He brings in what he feels is enough to deal with it. This particular set being a Fairy Queen and a Spenta of Earth. So I believe this is going to be... Oh, it's going to be Creeping Doom, and it's going to be Army of Lead or Gold, I believe. Yep, Army of Lead. So we're going to have super high protection Great Eagles, which are pretty fearsome. They're very high hit point units with multiple attacks. So they're pretty sketchy. Got a bunch of Creeping Doom that comes out. We attack, we do what we can, but there is not that much to be done in the grand scheme of things. Yep. Alright, so Sanafe, we kill 1 Great Eagle, we lose a whole shit ton of things, we lose 2 out of 5 Vanjarls. Okay, Ungbaloth. Man, this is gonna be a massive episode, I'm sorry. I should not be doing every single one of these battles. Ungbaloth, we get a Fog Warriors, very cool. Ungbaloth is another blood hunting site, so this is going to be a similar situation, but he's dealing with it in a different way. Fog Warriors, Army of Lead from this Troll King, very cool. The Troll King has boots of flying in order to keep up with the army. And again, same type of situation. There's no way that we're going to be able to deal with these with Army of Lead and Fog Warriors up. Either one we would not be able to deal with. So, Ungbaloth dies. They lose nothing. We're attacked in Xanthrast. The small group against just PD. Probably going to just lose on the dive. Yep. Boom, done. There you go. Lost in Xanthrast. We are attacked in Boral. This is a singular Aria Seraph, so we'll see if we get lucky. Sneak a Phantasmal Warrior past. We do not, it seems. There we go. I was gonna say, jeez. Okay, so that was Boral. We get attacked in Rame. And this is interesting. So this is a Queen of Thunder. Kitted out like so. Has a Shade Mail Hauberkin. Has Amulet of Anti-Magic. Some gems. Actually casts Living Clouds. Which is pretty interesting. Living Clouds is easily going to be able to just destroy the like 6 PD that's here. I don't even think it was 6 PD, but that's Rame. We are attacked in Orman. Okay, Orman has a bunch of undead, but again, it's just undead, and the Vanjarls are kitted out to deal with thugs, not Army of Gold. We're going to get some air elementals that are going to get mixed into this, but we are going to again have a Army of Lead or Gold caster here, and that's going to be the thing. Summon Earth Power, Army of Lead. Oof. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Gosh golly gee whiz. Ormond, they lose 4 Spire Horns, 1 Harib Seraph. Probably to a Van Jarl that snuck in the back. Okay. We're attacked in Laria. And this is him moving part of that massive army out of his fort. And this is another thing that I semi-anticipated. So they do actually run into Igorok here. So let's see how this turns out. Igorok does his Phoenix Pyre, etc. Now, this one does not have army of lead or gold, but they do have 2 Marble Warriors casters. So it's a similar effect, but not quite as strong. Igorok comes landing in the back. And oh, we should do this. So he gets stunned. Or paralyzed, rather. And his HP gets really, really low. But he is able to continuously regen, and thanks to the combination of Vine Shield, and really, it's not the Fire Shield, but it's the Heat Aura, he starts exhausting people around him. Between the Vine Shield and the Heat Aura, he almost dies. But he is able to regen his way back up and cut through. And eventually he's able to kill or rout every single thing in this battlefield. He does not get away unscathed, though. He gets a number of wounds in doing this. It's kind of rough. He eventually fatigues out. And it gets worse when we get some Yetis in range of him, I think. Yeah, so these 2 Yetis get in range of him, and they actually super fatigue him. He gets about up to 200 before that Yeti runs. And that Yeti runs. So now everything is fatigued. And we have to wait for it all to unfatigue. But basically at the end of it is the things that are not near him unfatigue and they run. But anything that is near him can't unfatigue because of his Heat Aura. So he eventually unfatigues and he kills them. So that is Laria, where Igorok kills 56 of that force, which is pretty good. In Felden Forest, we've got another Aria Seraph versus just PD. I'm not going to watch this. This is taking too long. Felden Forest in Amiradon. I think this is just PD. Very quick. PD and dead. So we lose an Amiradon in Pergami. This is just a Harib Seraph. So this is another air elemental that we lose to. Saramatia, we get attacked. Goodness gracious. More air elementals. Okay, Glimmering Fields, we get attacked. More air elementals. So many air elementals. And in Grey Mountains, we get attacked. And this is just against people. He has learned his lesson from the last time, though, right? If you remember us fighting against each other previously, he would send these little clusters of like 5 or 10 Spirehorn warriors. And there were many of the times that he would do that he would end up losing, because my Van Heer PD would just barely be able to deal with it. Anyways, that's a whole bunch of attacks. We've got some unexpected events, unrest, and minus population in Forest of Long Nights. We found a damned merchant in Saramatia that's +1 blood slave per turn. We found 39 gold in Bright Woods. We found 53 unrest and minus population in the Sinks. The entrance to Osens has been breached, but everywhere else is just fine. And then we've done some breaching, but now we've got some issues. Grigory GoFundMe, the god of Hinnom, has been permanently vanquished. Alright, I'm gonna try to keep this short, but we've got 50,000 attacks because we have been attacked in 50,000 locations. So this is probably the beginning of the end. I don't have to sit there and harp on it, but we are going to resist Calum as best we can, but they have a massive research advantage. They have had a territory advantage for the majority of the game. The only way, my assumption is the only way that we are really going to have a chance here is if the rest of the game rises up. Memoria attacks, Abyssia attacks. I'm pulling out of Tirnanog's land so they could just take their stuff back from me real quick and then start attacking Calum. If that happens, then Calum might be able to get pushed back. But I think even at this point, it's probably too little too late, truth be told. I think more than likely they are going to win with a couple of losses here or there, and that's going to be that. So let's talk about those losses. We'll start in Tirnanog. Basically, everything that I have in the Tirnanog territories, I am pulling out of Tirnanog territories, and I am either counterattacking in my lands, or I am attacking into Calum lands. Okay? So over here, I've got Furcus is attacking... nope, sorry. Bune is actually attacking into Xanthras. The reason I'm sending Bune over there is because Bune does have a Shademail Hauberkin. So Bune can attack into Xanthras and then sneak into Calum territory, and then attack into a place and then sneak into another place. So he is going to immediately go on a raiding mission. Jarl 20 is heading to Zox, hopefully to be able to... he's actually not going to sneak either. He's just going to attack. Hopefully to be able to use the laboratory there next turn to Cloud Trapeze somewhere. Okay? Nikafor is attacking into Lithia on his way up into our territory, and then Furcus is flying all the way up to Polmania. Okay? In Griffin Rock, again, we're pulling out everything. So we are sending Ethenim all the way over to Great Woods to begin raiding into his territory. We are sending Semedges directly to Robberhome to try to throw off whatever is there. We are sending right. We'll talk about that in a second. We are sending... I think we're sending Oriax there as well. So we'll just do that. We're sending Oriax and Semedges to Robberhome. We're sending Jade Sork 3 and King 4, as well as Henga 3 and I believe Henga 2. Since these units can't, since Jade Sork 3 and King 4 can't make the jump all the way back to Robberhome, they're heading to Zox, and we're just trying to support them somewhat. Okay? But the big deal here is Henga 4 is actually going, they've got 89 units. They're going to Felicia. And the goal is to head up towards Helheim. So we're going on a kind of like a stealth mission towards Helheim, because we talked about this on a previous occasion. Moving all of these units up towards Tirnanog means that we have left Helheim under garrisoned. Fortunately, he did not hit Helheim hard this turn, so we have a little bit of time in order to try to resupply Helheim and save ourselves. So we'll see how it goes. So that's Hanga 4's mission, is to head up that way. It is possible that it would be faster to just go down through our territory. The only thing is it is definitely a shorter distance through Calum territory, and I don't know how much of my territory is going to remain, quote-unquote, my territory for very long. It also happens that this freaking mountain and this wasteland over here really kind of cramp the going this route style. So whereas this, though it is all Calum's territory, is all plains. So I should be able to jump here, then to jump here, and then to jump there. So it should only be 3 turns before I can get Hanga 4 back with all of those Hellheardings. Okay? In Zox, we are moving Jarl 28. Immediately counterattacking. We're moving Jarl 28 into Felicia. We are immediately attacking with Gop. He has had a slight change of gear, has a Storm Spool. He's attacking into Amiradon. Over in Robberhome, we are sneaking and attacking into Letia. We are sneaking and attacking into Felden Forest. We are forging some Armor of the Knights. We need more armor. We need more thug gear for our units in order to try to survive against different things that we could potentially run up against. Okay? In Glimmering Fields, we are breaking the siege with Jarl 43. Fingers crossed there. Over in Sarmatia, we are doing a number of things. Are we all done that? Yeah. We are forging a bunch of Storm Spools. We do not have enough Storm Spools. We also have to be very careful because we have very few Air Gems, but we need more Storm Spools. So, Storm Spool, Storm Spool, Storm Spool, Storm Spool. We are sneaking Carl 4 with his 77 Hellheardings, again, down towards Helheim. So he is heading to Brightgate this turn. He should make it to Helheim next turn. Easy peasy. So resupply there. We're continuing to do Corpseman construction. We are doing reanimation now, pretty much everywhere that we have Carl's 4 Amulets of the Dead. We are sneaking and attacking with a number of different units. We are breaking siege with Jarl 51 on Sarmatia. We are sneaking and attacking into Ungbeloth with Jarl 36. A lot of these, as a heads up, a lot of these are likely suicide missions. It depends on what Kalem's responses are. If Kalem sent all of these attacks and then he just holds, a lot of these are going to be suicide missions. So we're going to have to see how much did he learn from fighting us the previous time. Okay? Jarl 48 is going to Ard, and then Jarl 55 is going to Towers of Heaven. We are also forging some more Armor of Knights, and otherwise we are just researching or preaching. Okay? Igarak is going to Helheim, so he's going to fly from Laria all the way to Helheim to hopefully break the siege of Helheim. I'm assuming we're going to get hit with way more stuff. I'm assuming we're going to get grouped on. Most of the big flying units that attacked us, I'm assuming are going to hit Helheim this next turn. Which I'm assuming means the death of Igarak, but we're going to see how that goes. Okay? Over in Brightgate, we are forging a bunch of Rings of the Warrior, Armor of Knights, and items like that are going to be very, very helpful in creating decent counter-rating thugs. Over in Zimria, so Brightgate and Zimria are 2 of the locations that did not get slammed this turn. I do not anticipate that to remain a thing. So we are consolidating the forces as best we can. We're pulling all of the enchanters and Jarl 50 with the small group of Herdmen that he has over into Brightgate. I didn't do this yet, but I'm also going to be recruiting... I just canceled that. That's unfortunate. I'm going to be recruiting... probably just Herdmen here. Jeez. The resources are so crap because we don't have the territory. It's unfortunate. I lost a fucking Herdman because I'm a dumbass. I could cancel this, but I do not want to cancel this. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're consolidating in Brightgate is kind of irrelevant. We're moving Carl 6 into Dead Forest, and we're moving Jarl 26 and King 12 into Dead Forest as well. Again, consolidating where the majority of our forces are. We're going to hold in Dead Forest rather than hold in Defaros, because holding in Defaros means moving more units right now. We don't want to do that at the moment. Okay. In Dead Forest, we are doing a number of different things. We're forging a Frostbrand. Now, Frostbrands aren't actually that good against Kalem because a lot of their units have ice resistance, and that's what the Frostbrand is good against. However, it is somewhat okay, and it's better than nothing, and it's what we can really achieve easily, so we're going for some Frostbrands. More Armor of the Knights, more Voice of Absolute, just because, what, actually. Another Thistle Mace, because I need to have more people able to do mass protection. More Frostbrands, and you can see we are sneaking Jade Sork 11 and Jade Sork 14. Why are we sneaking them? We're sending one towards Helheim, we're sending one towards Kronberg. We need more individuals. This is also why we're forging Thistle Maces. We need more individuals in more locations in order to do things like a mass protection cast. Mass protection is vastly inferior to something like Army of Lead or Army of Gold, but it is what we have, so we are going to do what we can with it, okay? So hopefully they will make it there, and we will be able to do some good stuff. We are immediately counter-raiding with Jarl 31 and Jarl 34 into Rame and into Sanafe. We are immediately counter-raiding with Jarl 33 into Pergami. In Kronberg, we have stopped the production of owl quills. We need the air gems to do other stuff now. We are continuing to make more armor of knights. And we're going to talk about this in a second. We'll talk about it once we get to Helheim, but we're mine hunting. We're moving Jarl 27 to counter in Blue Moss, and we are moving King 14 back into Kronberg. Over in Yellow Caves, we are moving Podosian back into Titan's Breath. I want Podosian to be able to fight big things in our territory, if at all possible. But we are moving Henga 8 and Com 3 onto Florian. We are attacking Calum in Florian. Because fuck that guy. Now, this is going to probably be an easy victory for him. But it is going to take... He is going to have to respond to it, okay? So we'll see how that goes. Over in Osens. Osens was the only fortification that he sent a large force at, and it was immediately popped. We cannot fight here. We do not have the ability to successfully hold. You guys move all the way over? Sure they can. Okay, they can't make it all that way, so I'm just going to sneak with Hearst 50 so that we don't lose them. But, so everything that can sneak out is sneaking out. Burial can't sneak out. He could if we threw one of our Shade Mail Hauberkins on him. However, I'm going to try out the tactic. We've altered just slightly. Now, again, I don't think this is necessarily going to work very well because of their whole army of gold fire resistance situation. But I have a Flesh Eater on Burial now, and we're going to see if he can just Phoenix Pyre, just because for experimentation. Again, I don't expect to win with this. I expect Burial to die. But I'd rather see how it goes. So let's see how it goes, you know? Fingers crossed. And in the meantime, he's just summoning allies, because why not? Okay? In Tiny Willow, we are sneaking Jarl 29 into Helheim, because he has no gear. But Jarl 10 is counterattacking in Ancient Woods. Jarl 18 is counterattacking in Orman. And then we make it to Helheim, finally. In Helheim, we are doing a bunch of reanimation, because we need chaff. That's fine. No big deal, right? Long Deads aren't great. But if you have stuff like Fog Warriors, which we now have access to, or Mass Protection, which we now have access to, they can be significantly better. They're not going to compete with Fog Warriors' Army of Gold, but we're doing what we can, you know? We need more chaff. So reanimation, I think 3 reanimations? Yeah, 3 reanimations, more Corpse Man construction. Not doing no more. Stop that. Black Steel helmet. And then we'll talk about the Mine Hunt. So, we have access to Mine Hunt after we have achieved Evocation 6. We have a plethora of targets, right? So it comes down to what are the best kinds of targets to go for. Typically, you want to go for targets that are low MR, obviously, because that way you have a higher chance of succeeding. However, sometimes it can be a good idea to just focus fire on a important target, like Thula, the Queen of Thunder. Now, Thula, for example, has... Where is she? She's in Rain. Check her real quick. She has an amulet of anti-magic. So does the Lich, for example, right? So that's MR23. Very, very unlikely that we are going to get her. Possible, definitely possible, but unlikely. So initially we are going to try to, and this is intentional, I want you to keep this in mind, this is intentional because we want to announce, hey, we have this thing, you better watch the fuck out, right? Because that might make him more cautious, and that means he might sneak with more of his big units. That means that if he's sneaking with those big units, we are having to fight them less. Does that mean we have less options against them? Yeah, absolutely it does. But time is the more important thing for us right now, not effectiveness necessarily, right? So our mind hunts are targeting a couple of different things. Bifron's is targeting the Harib Seraph over here in Pergami. So hopefully he gets an easy kill and Jarl 33 just comes in and takes it. We are mine hunting with Magoth over here in Blue Moss Forest for basically the same thing. This is a army led by a single unit, so the hope there is that we get that single unit killed and then pop the army easy, because hopefully he doesn't put any PD in there, right, in theory. And then the last mine hunt is actually going towards Sanafe. We didn't have a lot of really good targets, but there are some targets here. There are only 2 units here in Sanafe. There it is. We've got a Fairy Queen and a Spenta of the Earth. Both of these are MR18, which is typically a little higher than you want to go if you want easy kills, but it's still within range to get some good kills. So the hope is that we can either snipe a Fairy Queen or a Spenta of the Earth, just to be an annoyance, right? And that's about it. I say that's about it. It's been an hour and fucking 2 minutes of this fucking turn. We've been leading up to this for a very, very long time. I full well anticipate losing this war, losing this game. I think at the beginning of the game we had the opportunity to win, but we screwed up against Sarmatia twice, 2 big times. I still think that going on Sarmatia was the correct answer to the do you do Sarmatia or do you do Marverni? Because I think if we had done Marverni, we would have got a portion of the pie, and then Sarmatia would have been big. We would have been okay-ish big. Helheim still would have been very big. I don't think it would have mattered enough. The correct choice was to go on Sarmatia. We just fucked it up. And since then, I think the correct choice was to go against Helheim, but then everyone else pulled out. I think that was a failure in diplomacy. That was a failure from me in diplomacy, because I should have been talking to Fomoriya and Tirnanog that entire time saying, look, if we do not stay on Helheim, if we get pieced out one by, is he gonna hurt us? Yes, he's gonna hurt us, but he's not gonna win in the long run. Eventually, we are going to whittle him down. Fomoriya, stay in. Tirnanog, stay in. Right? Me, stay in, because eventually I will get a piece of the pie, and you will get a piece of the pie, and you will get a piece of the pie, and we will all be better for it, and Helheim will be dead for it. But instead, we let him piece us out piece by piece by piece. Helheim had 3 territories to work with and a whole shitload of time, and this is the result. And we knew this was going to happen. So, next turn, we're probably going to have a lot of failed counterattacks, and we're probably going to get hit pretty hard in a couple of locations. We'll see how it goes. We will have Murdering Winter next turn, and we will be able to cast it once out of the gate, definitely. Twice if we alchemize some. And if this is kind of like one of the few potential routes. Murdering Winter is not going to be very good against him because most of his units have cold resistance. However, if we double cast it, it could still do enough damage to hurt a large army. I don't think that that's going to matter, though, in the long. Honestly, like, I don't think that that's going to be effective, and I don't think it's going to matter in the long run. We do have, though, also, next turn, Wind of Death. And this could actually make the difference. This could actually be the thing that lets us get away with a couple of victories against him, with the sacrifice, mind you, of a Hangadrot probably every time we want to try that. But it is possible. It is definitely possible that we could get that done. Super long turn. I apologize. God damn these late game turns. Hope you enjoyed. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.